Hi, welcome to the Investment Blueprint. I'm your host, Raghu Kumar from Rain Platforms. The Investment Blueprint is a podcast where I interview traders, investors, quants, and finance professionals in the space of retail trading and investing, with the goal of helping pass on their knowledge to you. Today, I interview Jose Carlos Tanaka, who is a Forex trader residing in Lima, Peru. Jose Carlos is a discretionary trader and an economist and a researcher who is focused on teaching himself different elements of trading. He has a strong interest in quantitative finance with knowledge in different programming languages as well. Currently, he trades Forex, ETFs, and the US stock markets, and he is developing an application to trade with algorithms. Today, we talk about his story, how the stock markets are in the country of Peru, and his trading goals. So, Jose, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. I should say that I am Jose Carlos Gonzáles Tanaka, but I know that Tanaka sounds like Japanese and all that. Yeah, it's a very, since I was a child, I was always remembered by Tanaka, so I don't mind if you call me Tanaka actually.
Okay. I think I'll call you Jose Carlos if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I should say first of all that I began trading since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I get to enter to the EPAT program from Quantitative, and then I started to trade discretionarily since that year. And my trading style is almost like nowadays I'm just buying and hold sometimes because I'm just concentrated in my application. Since I had the opportunity to get into the course of the EPAT in Quantitative, I started to program my application. I started to deploy some machine learning algorithms, strategies to all that kind of stuff to get into the quantitative finance. Could I say that? And then, I I finished my application. The construction of the application, like I should say, 3 to 4 months ago. It was hard. Because this was the first time that I finished something that I could say was complicated, I should say. And it was really cool to do it. I had a lot of fun. Obviously, it get bored sometimes because you have to. It's like work, You have to work every day, and you have to continue to pursue your goal to finish the application. And finally, I finished my application. What I'm concerned nowadays is that I have already finished my application, but the strategy that I implement on it doesn't work very well. So I've been trying a lot of different strategies, trying to improve them. What I have found is that my strategies work pretty well with a capacity of $50,000 or $100,000. So that is my constraint nowadays because I just want to start with $10,000 as a capacity. So that's my big concern and a limitation nowadays with my application. So I'm trying. All the books that I read about this thing of algorithmic trading, they suggest that if you want to trade with $10,000 or less, you should trade with a daily frequency. So I didn't want to do that because I think daily frequency, I will not get a super profitability or super return. Annual return. So that's why I'm trying to implement my strategies with a medium frequency. That means an hour frequency or 2 hour frequency or half an hour frequency or 3 hour frequency. So I'm mixing my strategies and changing them according to that medium frequency,
So I want to get a little bit of clarification there. So you mentioned that you built a strategy and then the capacity is $100,000. Does that mean that you have to have at least $100,000 to trade it, or is that the maximum amount
When
that
I
you can scale it to?
when I did the backtesting results, when I did the backtesting, I mean, I had the results that I could trade the strategies with a capacity of $100,000. That's what for example, the crossover moving average, I could trade that strategy, that technical analysis strategy. I could do that, but with a capacity of $100,000. So if I don't get the money, I cannot be profitable with that strategy.
Oh, so capacity means you require that much to trade it.
Yes, that's it.
Got it. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Got it.
So
So then you basically made an adjustment where
yes,
you
I'm
could trade it
trying
with
nowadays.
10,000.
I'm trying to do the adjustment to trade with a medium frequency. I don't want to
Got
trade
it.
with that daily frequency because it is too low
Sure.
for me, and I think a medium frequency might work only. But the point is that I have to find that adjustment that could finally make some profits.
Right. Got it. So let's take a step back here, right? Before we talk about, how you, got into trading in 2019, I'm just curious to know about your story, right? Like, how did you even get interested in the stock markets? Because I don't hear too much about, the stock markets in Peru. So how are the stock markets in Peru? And is there something about the stock markets in Peru which kind of captivated your attention? And also why, algo trading? How did all that happen?
Okay, I must say that I have never traded in the Peruvian stock market.
Okay.
I have never traded, but I should say that it has a very low liquidity. It has big spreads, and also the broker commissions are high. You cannot trade easily, like with a high frequency. You cannot do that. It is too much expensive. So that's why I point myself to the direction of the international markets. I wanted to trade with a low commission from the broker, so that's why I chose Interactive Brokers, which has the lower broker commissions in the world.
Right.
So that's why I chose them. And well, the Peruvian stock market, there are some papers that I have that have worked on the Peruvian stock market. I haven't read them, but I should say the basic principle that has happened here throughout the years is that it has a very low liquidity. It has big spreads, and well, that's the point. Also, it is a very the capitalization is very very low. It is on the frontier of the, I don't know how to call that. They have the Peruvian stock market has trouble with international markets because it has so low the capitalization that it cannot trade. I don't know how to call it, but it has problems with the internalization of the Peruvian stock market.
Got it.
And well, it has the Peruvian stock market has also called, I think, Mila, that you could trade from with the Chilean stock market and the Colombian stock market and the Mexican stock market, I think. So between all the Mexicans, Colombians, and Chileans, I think they can invest in the Peruvian stock market and vice versa.
Got it.
So they have created like a group, so it could be more profitable to customers and sellers.
Right. Got it. Very cool. So you basically did not trade very much
No,
in
actually,
the
none.
domestic markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
None. Okay. So then how did you decide to, start trading on the US
Well,
markets? And yeah.
I study economics
Okay.
here in Peru, and well, first of all I wanted to follow a PhD program. And then in the final year of my university career, I chose finance. Between that lapse of training at the university, I was also programming in Visual Basic for Excel. So I knew that I liked to program before I get into algorithmic trading. And then in the final year of it might be like 2014, I discovered some it's like a small course, but it has it's like a master degree actually. It's a special course of the Central Bank of Peru, which is Curso de extension course of finance.
Okay.
So I took that. I took that course. You have to pass an exam also, and through those, the course was in 2015. I prepared all of 2014, and you take that course to get into work into the central bank. I didn't get to work in the central bank, but I realized about algorithmic trading in those days in between January and March 2015, and it was cool. I then since the month passes passed. Passed in
Passed by, yeah.
passed in 2015, and I discovered about algorithmic trading in 2000 that year. I wanted to know where could I study that thing. I didn't know where to study, and then in 2018 I get to the Quant Institute program.
Yep.
And that's how I get into the course in 2019. And since then, I was searching about this stuff,
Got it. So you basically decided from the get-go to become a quantitative trader, right?
Yes, that's right.
So you kind of skipped the whole discretionary route generally, right?
Yeah.
So then how did you decide to get into the US markets and the Forex markets?
Well, you know that to trade in the US stock market, you have to, if you want to make like more than 3 operations in a 5-day time frame, you should have $25,000,
right?
Basically. But I don't have that, so I'm trading like, the how I don't know how to call that in English. It's like I trade on Monday, and then I trade on Wednesday, and then on Friday, something like that.
Okay.
So I was doing that. I was doing also buy and hold with tech stocks, and then it became the coronavirus became to the mainstream, stock markets.
Yep.
And then I finally I moved myself to do the application, because I didn't want to get involved in this volatility.
Got it.
So that's why first of all, in 2020, I was developing my strategies. And since January of this year, I was doing my application.
Got it. So let's talk about your trading systems, right? So specifically your Forex, trading systems.
Yes, I plan to start with Forex because the U.S. stock market doesn't have I cannot trade. I cannot do medium frequency in the U.S. stock market. I don't have the money.
Right.
I plan to do the Forex thing.
Got it. So let's talk about your trading systems for the Forex markets, right?
Okay.
I'm assuming you've back-tested some systems for the FX markets.
Yes.
Right? How generally do you go about building, a trading system for the FX markets?
Okay. What I do is something that Marcos Lopez de Prado doesn't recommend.
Okay.
I don't know that if you know him throughout.
I do. Yeah.
Well, he says that research is not about backtesting.
Right.
Yeah, but I do that. Okay. Okay, that's something that I do. And I should say that it's a great discussion, because I think Marcos Lopez de Prado has really good insights,
Yeah.
but I'm doing the reverse. And I think I have the backtesting results that I have show me that I could have, as well as I said before, my strategies work with capacity with more than $100,000 or
$100,000. Right.
$50,000, something like that.
Right.
And
Right.
what my strategies consist of, what are my strategies consist of? Well, I should say that I work with the Hidden Markov model. Do you know that?
Yes and no. If you can maybe elaborate, that'd be good.
Okay, the Hidden Markov model, it's something, how could I say, it's an unsupervised machine learning algorithm
Okay.
that works with, how could I say, you have, for example, you plan to assign to the euro US dollar exchange rate, but outcome. I could say, okay, a bull market, a bear market, and a stable market. So these
Right.
are three states. So
Yep.
with this algorithm, the hidden market model, you could, with three states, you could assign to each, depending on the frequency, if it is daily, you could assign to each day which state are you in the euro US dollar.
Okay.
So with this algorithm, you could, whatever the number of states that you could apply, that you want to apply, you could assign each observation a state,
Okay.
a nature state. I don't know how to call it. I think,
Sure. No, that's correct. Yeah.
yeah. So a state. So that's how the algorithm works. It works with the Well algorithm, I think. So
Got it. So it basically assigns a state to any moment in time. It figures out
yes,
what the state is. Okay.
yes,
And then based on that decision,
and
what's next? What
yes,
does it
and
do?
it is based on the whole observation sequence.
Okay.
It is only based on the observation sequence, and you get the states. But for as I mentioned, it is an unsupervised machine learning algorithm, so it you don't need the states to assign it. You just
Got it.
you
It's
just
just
get the states through in the model.
got it. Got it. So basically, through whatever data you're feeding it, that is the training, I guess, data that it kind of
Yes,
goes
the
through, and then
input is the
yeah.
observation sequence, and the output is the states for each
Got it.
day. For example, if your frequency is daily, so that's
Okay.
it with the hidden Markov model. And
So do you have like your own proprietary like algorithm there,
I should
or is it
say
like
that well, the Python, there's a Python library which has the HMM algorithm, but because I wanted to customize it by to myself, I recreated the code entirely.
Got it?
It took me. I did it in January to March. From January to March of this year,
Sure.
it took me like 3 months almost, and was
Okay.
really difficult because I have to search through the papers, search a lot of papers, do research about it, and trying to find the best article, the best paper to recreate the model. You know, and I did that. It was also my accomplishment.
Okay.
So it was really fun to do it, and I was really happy when I finished the code.
So that was in 2021.
Yes, and
Got it.
that's something that I incorporate that into my strategies,
Okay.
the hidden mark model. Then I use sometimes in some strategies I use the autoregressive moving average model.
Okay.
And besides, I also use the ARFIMA residuals as well as Markov Lopez de Prado suggests.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that?
No, I don't. If you can again elaborate, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's the point about Marcos Lopez de Prado of the ARFIMA residuals is that he says that when you differentiate price series, you get the returns, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get the returns with a one differentiation, what you get is a stationary process, but it doesn't have any memory. Because the price series, it has memory, but the return series, it doesn't have memory. So Marcos Lopez de Prado says, well, if you want to have a stationary process, but also with memory, what you should use is the ARFIMA residuals.
Okay.
So you apply ARFIMA model to the price series, for example, for the euro US dollar,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the residuals from that model applied to the euro US dollar. And you will get a stationary process, but also a low memory process.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, both conditions, you could have something that could be used as a prediction feature.
Interesting. Okay. I caught
So,
most of that. I think I understood most of that, but let me ask you a more kind of high level question here, right?
okay.
So if these are just general kind of theorems and kind of calculations that you're applying on top of data, where is the edge coming from? And this is more like a high level question. I'm not sure if there's a direct answer to this, but if you had to kind of say, well, this is a reason for why you think this would work well, right? Because there's a kind of hidden edge that the market is not capturing. Have you maybe thought about that, or
Yes,
is that
what I
yeah?
should say is that when I apply, for example, I have a strategy that it combines the HMM. It also combines the ARFIMA residuals, and it
Mm-hmm.
also combines the crossover moving average. And I should
Mm-hmm.
say that I have some edge because
Mm-hmm.
I can improve the Sharpe ratio, the hit ratio. So I have an
Got it.
improvement in the results, in the back
Got it. Got
testing
it. Got it.
results.
Got it. Got it. And if I may ask, how did the back test perform? And also, when you back test, can you kind of just generally tell me about, on how much data you're back testing over, and how do you kind of decide to, take the next step based on the back test?
Okay, I have a framework, a code framework that I used always. It has I backtest the strategy based on some indicators. For example, the Sharpe ratio, the hit ratio, the compounding annual growth rate.
Mm-hmm.
So and the drawdown ratio, the
Mm-hmm.
maximum drawdown. I'm sorry.
Max strata.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So those four indicators I use to optimize my strategy.
Got it.
And I should say also that besides the HMM and besides the ARFIMA residuals, I also use technical analysis indicators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I should say they perform really well. The other problem that I have is that my computer isn't too much equipped with good hardware.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I plan to change that my computer in these months. The problem is that, as you well know,
Mm-hmm.
um, nowadays the technology hardware is really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't. I have to be very careful when I chose the perfect computer for me.
Sure.
But well, I plan to I don't know if you know about this technology. it's an NVIDIA hardware. It's an NVIDIA computer, which is AGX Xavier development kit. It's a small computer which is specialized for artificial intelligence and machine learning. I don't know. It's the Jetson AGX Xavier developer kit.
Got it.
It's a small.
So you're looking to get that. Yeah.
It's a small computer which is, as well as I said, specialized to develop artificial intelligence algorithms. It's really small. I know it's like a little box, but it has great power.
Super powerful. Yeah,
it's super powerful. And well, I have not bought yet the computer, but I plan to buy it. The point is that nowadays I wanted to buy it through Amazon, but there's no stock there's no stock.
Got it.
It has risen the price. Like 1 year ago, it was like, I don't know, $700. Nowadays, like $1,600. So, yeah. So
rising demand. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to buy that stuff so I could develop, because I want to do parallelism. So because of that, I want to backtest more quickly and all that,
Got it. So have you thought about at some point in time, trading these things live?
Yes, I have already traded lively my strategies, but as well as I said, it doesn't work with the capacity. Yeah.
Got it.
So the commissions, they eat my
it eats up. Yeah, you have to make those numbers work for you. Exactly.
Yeah, but I have already proved my strategies in paper trading.
Sure.
It was great. And when I play my application, it was really fun because something new for me, and it was really great to do it. Besides the
no, it's great. I mean, you just built it this year, right? So obviously everything takes time, right?
Yeah.
The last question I had, just kind of, with regards to your trading, right, is let's talk about your position sizing and kind of general risk management, right? Because a lot of the listeners in this podcast, they are, retail traders, just doing the same thing as you and me. So how do you kind of generally think about risk management and position sizing? Okay,
for example, when I use the Hidden Markov model with the crossover moving average, for example, for example, if I have two states, I don't know if you don't know the next state of the observation sequence.
Right.
So, but you have the transition matrix, which tells you which is the probability of the next state for each state, I should say. And well, I use the transition matrix to get to the position sizing also. So for example, if the next state is 90%, that it will be the A state, and 10% it will be the B state. I use like average of this with this probability and the other one with the position that tells me the code, the strategy. So I have a position between -1 and +1, which is buy or sell or buy, and I get the combination of the average of this number will get you to the position sizing that I have. The other thing that I should add is that, well, I don't trade with too much leverage because precisely I don't want to get involved with preservation of capital. So that's why I don't use too much leverage.
Of course.
For example, I use like 2 times. It could be 1.5 times my leverage, or 2 times. It could be also 3 times, but I don't want to abuse about that because it could be really dangerous. Because there are sometimes in the markets, I know that, for example, there's a great volatility, there's a great move in the market, for example, in the euro, US dollar, and the stop loss doesn't work. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So it could be really problematic if you, even though you
if that happens, right?
Even though you put your stop loss, it could not work, right?
Exactly. Right. No, and especially in the FX markets, right? Because a lot of these brokers give you just, crazy margin, right? Crazy leverage.
Yeah.
And you have that option. And I think it's really important to not just, blindly take it, right?
Yes, that's right.
So really cool, staying on the topic of, FX systems here, Jose Carlos. So obviously you were able to really learn a lot of this kind of on your own, right?
Yes, that's right.
You kind of describe yourself as like a self-learner. But sometimes that's difficult to do, right? So for some of the listeners to this podcast who do want to get into the FX world specifically, what are some good resources you have for them?
Well, I should say that I am a Peruvian guy, which the native language is Spanish.
Right.
And I should say that all the information is on the internet. It is in English.
Yep.
So first of all, you should know the English language. So
right.
it's because all the I have a lot of books here in my bedroom, in my office, and I should say that all the books are in English.
Right.
There's no Spanish book. All is in English. So first of all, you should know English to start to learning about this subject.
Yeah.
Besides, you have to be like disciplined to study all those books by your own. So you have to have the discipline to read the books and search for ideas and strategies in those books,
Yep.
So that's how I get my strategies. I use a lot of books to search and find and be creative. Also, it's good to, I don't play any musical instrument, but it's good to play an instrument because it helps you with your creativity.
Yep.
But something else that I want to make is to create trap music. So
okay,
I will do that in the coming months, just to improve my creativity.
Sure. No, I actually really like that answer because usually when I ask a question like this, people will talk about websites or specific books that they've read. But I think in your case, you're taking a more kind of holistic approach, which I totally agree with, by the way, with everything you said.
Yeah,
especially the playing instrument.
I could tell you about books also. I have, for example, this book about Hamilton. It's Hamilton is well known in econometrics, which is time series analysis.
Okay.
The other book that I have here is the Advanced Algorithmic Trading by, I don't know which is the author. I think I have it here. I think it's Michael Moore, I think, which has his page called quantstart.com.
Okay.
Also, the QuantInsti article blogs that they have, they are really good.
That's excellent. Yep.
What other book? I also read about C++, I should say, because I want to get involved in C++ because since once I will be profitable someday, I want to translate all my code in Python to C++ because I want to work with C++. So also I'm reading books about C++ and how to. I should add something interesting but really shameful, which is I didn't find until now a book about algorithmic trading in C++.
Okay. Why is that the case? Why do you think
I don't know.
Case?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, you could find machine learning in Python for finance. You could find algorithmic trading in Python,
Python for sure. Yeah. There's a
but
lot of
you
books on
don't
that, yeah.
find an algorithmic trading book in C++.
C++.
I think
That's interesting.
it might be because it is the difficulty of the language.
Language. Right.
It might be because it's really disappointing, you know.
Maybe you can write it.
And that's what I'm thinking, you know. That's what I'm thinking. So because
Yeah.
it's really, for me, it's really disappointing. But well, you know, it might be the difficulty of the language.
Sure. No, it sounds like something, completely up your alley. So the last question for today, Jose Carlos,
Okay.
is this is something I ask, all my guests, right? What are your goals, as a trader for the next 5-10 years?
Okay. What I want to do is, first of all, I want to be profitable. you
Sure.
know, that's the first step to become a real quant or a real algorithmic trader.
Right.
And then the next step, I seriously plan to have an investment fund vehicle. I don't know how to call that in English because in Spanish it's like,
That's the same thing. Yeah.
I think it might be the same name, you know.
Yep.
So investment fund vehicle. So I could manage other people's money, you know.
Yep.
I want to do that. It's my dream. So I'm working hard to accomplish that goal.
Amazing. No, I really like that, and what I really appreciate about you is you seem to know exactly what you want, and I think a lot of traders sometimes they get caught up in different, methodologies and systems and approaches and things like that. But you kind of approach this whole thing, with a very kind of, straightforward mindset, right? You're looking to apply your programming skills, apply quantitative finance, build up a good track record, with different backtesting systems and eventually start, managing other people's money. So I think you're on the right track and it's really inspiring, So awesome. Thank you, Jose Carlos. I really like this
Thanks to you.
conversation. I was able to learn a lot, myself and, hope to talk to you soon.